we're here on Wednesday, Energy Wednesday, with Hawaii, the State of Clean Energy, the program that's put on by Hawaiian Electric, Hawaii Energy, and DBED, all contributing and cooperating. So our special guests tonight are Mitch Ewan from HNEI, that's Hawaii Natural Energy Institute. And let's see, he's in the HEPF, Hawaii Energy Policy Forum Transportation Working Group. Say hello, Mitch.
Hello there, Jay.
Nice work.
Thank you. Good job.
And Arden Penton
Yes.
of Volta.
Hello.
Volta, one of my favorite companies, great startup company. Where are the boys right now?
San Francisco.
Ah, okay, making a living, Mach 11, as they say.
Exactly.
You know, I mean, energy, and we're calling this standing still in transportation. It's my little suggestion that maybe we're not moving fast enough, so I call the show Standing Still in Transportation. And indeed, I wanted to tell you about my first day in law school. We got his name was Bischoff. He was the dean of the NYU Law School, and we all sat in an auditorium where he addressed us one afternoon. And he said, I don't want you guys to get the wrong idea. You know, you don't have to work all day and all night. It's not like that. You know, you've heard these stories about law school. No, we want you to take off some time. You know, be real human beings. Every Saturday night between 6:30 and 7, we want you to take it off, relax, sit back. You know. And the reason I tell you the story is I think energy is like that too. We got to be thinking about and working on energy all the time. It's crisis. We can't let a minute go by. But I think we should take off between 6:30 and 7 every Saturday night.
Of course.
That's it.
Of course.
Okay, but before we get on to the serious stuff, well, it's serious too, but it's not the principal purpose of the show. It's Hawaii Energy. And Hawaii Energy, who is here through Larry Newman, has some suggestions for the holidays in the way of energy efficiency. Larry, tell us.
Thanks, Jay. Well, you know, just last weekend we kicked off the holiday season really full bore with the Christmas tree lighting ceremonies in downtown Honolulu. So we want everyone to stay mindful of all the lights they have on in their house, especially the decoration lights. So we'd like them to consider LED lights. LED lights use 70 to 80% less energy than our more common decorating lights. They come in a wide variety of colors, shapes, lengths, and very affordable. So we want you to keep mindful of that. And then once everything's decorated, a lot of attention is spent in the kitchen. A lot of baking, a lot of cooking. So we want everyone to stay mindful that if you're baking, keep those oven doors closed. Just opening that oven is going to lower the temperature in the oven about 25 degrees. It just fills your home with a lot of heat. And then more electricity is used to bring that oven back up to temperature. Same thing with the cooktops. Use your smallest pans and burners needed for the job. Keep the lids on. Cooking will be a lot more efficient. You'll end up using less energy. So that's really quick to stay mindful of saving energy during the holidays. We asked that everybody follow us on Facebook. We've got a lot more tips, actually a lot of fun contests going on. Just stay in touch with us, sign up for our newsletter as well at HawaiiAnenergy.com.
He's great.
Right on the ball.
Right on the ball.
Yep.
You got a unanimous vote over here, Larry. But I want to add one.
Please.
Okay, people leave their Christmas lights on for months. You know, some people in Hawaii, they leave their Christmas lights on, you know, like till April, because they think if they leave the lights on, then the Christmas spirit will prevail until April, which isn't necessarily true. I suppose it's true in some families, but as a rule, it's not.
It's a really good tip, actually.
And I think, you know, it'd be a really good idea when Christmas is over to turn off the lights.
Absolutely. Thanks, Jay.
Thank you, Larry. Larry Newman, Hawaii Energy, coming down. All right, thanks very much for that. And if we don't see you, you know, have a great Christmas.
I'll be back, but holidays to you too, and everyone who's listening.
All right, okay, see you soon then. Larry Newman, Hawaii Energy. Okay, let's get on to standing still in transportation. And, you know, I'd like to first status reports from you guys about what's going on. So I think we'll do beauty before brains. Or wait, beauty before brawn.
Watch out for that one.
Watch out for that.
Is it me or you? I'm not sure.
Okay, Mitch, you go first. Okay, Arden, what's going on with Volta?
A lot, actually. We're doing a huge mainland expansion right now, but here at home in Hawaii, we've put up a large number of new installs over the last couple months. So we're really excited to be able to provide the community a free service, especially during this holiday shopping season. You don't have to be afraid to head to the malls and all the crazy parking lot and pull right up in the front row. So we're really excited about our expansion. We're doing a big project with Ward Centers right now. It's a really up and coming area. They actually have 6 stations on property over there. So we're really excited about
Wow,
that.
6 already. Wow.
6 within a block.
How many have you got all together in Oahu?
22.
Wow, you guys.
And we're doing our first pair going in Maui as we speak. So that'll be the first Volta stations in Maui up by the end of the month. And then we're doing Outer Islands as well in 2014.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you still have the factory in Kaka'ako?
Yes,
Still making the stainless steel with all that fancy cutting equipment you have there?
exactly.
Yeah, that was fabulous.
Yes.
We went to see that. We made a movie of that once.
Did you really?
Yeah, with the stainless steel cutting equipment.
Oh.
And if you guys, in our audience haven't seen a Volta installation, because it doesn't say Volta on it.
It does on the side. It's really small.
A little small, but you see it's an ad, and it's a box about 4 feet by about 6 feet by maybe a foot wide.
Right.
And stainless steel. They're beautiful looking things. You'd swear they were manufactured in high precision factories somewhere, but it's really here.
Yeah. It's all handmade. Michael Menendez, who's our engineer,
genius engineer.
Yeah, it's amazing, and this guy can handle the huge machinery, and he's punching out these huge molds and welding and making the machines from scratch initially, and it's all custom made. So if we get an order and we're going to do an installation, then they start on the manufacturing side of it.
Yeah.
So it's really exciting. It's kind of a complex process. There's a lot of moving parts.
But it's inherent. I mean, it's what am I saying? It's critical.
Yeah.
This is part of your signature, your brand, your thing.
Right.
They should have the beautiful. It's not a charging station. It's a beautiful charging station.
Yeah, it's very clean, sleek lines. We're going towards that tech look rather than the green look, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's really appealing in terms of our brand. We're trying to keep it as simple and user-friendly as possible. So again, we don't have any of the little turnkeys or email addresses or membership cards. It's really kind of a nice design that's the beacon of the parking lot, so to speak.
It is, and people like to park near it, and I guess the landlords of those shopping centers like it because they let you do it, and your advertisers like it because it makes them look good being on a clean, aesthetic piece of gear like that.
Right, and they're representing a free service. So that's really important to us, why Volta kind of takes the back seat in terms of branding and awareness of who we are. We give full rights to the sponsors that sponsor the charging station. Because in turn, they're actually able to say, look, we give away 46,000 miles of electric range per year. We're offsetting this much CO2. So it's the sponsors that are actually paying to have the space on the station.
And they send a message with their ad.
Absolutely. So we give them full ownership rights of the station.
Great. That's great. So, we'll come back to this. Let me ask you quickly, though. Are we moving as fast as we should be here? If I stood on the street corner, it takes me a while to see an electric vehicle. I want to see them all over the place. I want to see the whole thing transformed. It's not being, sorry about this, it's not being
slowly but
transformed.
surely. I think definitely slowly but surely.
About 30 years, Mike.
I just got back from California. I was there for maybe 6 days. I saw 1 electric car. So for here in Hawaii, it's you go to Kahal Mall, for example, you'll see 5 Nissan Leafs, a couple Ford Focus Electrics. You'll
Parking
actually
at your Volta.
Teslas. At the stations, and more than that, they're kind of starting to pop up everywhere, and I think it's a really critical time to kind of transform and move towards sustainability, and really it's such a movement that hopefully it catches on very quickly, because you're right, it's those early adopters right now who are taking the chance. They're into electric, they do their research, but it's kind of they're the first crew on board with going electric, and hopefully it grows.
Well, can you, should you, would you, could you advertise or otherwise send the message? Maybe you can do it here right now. Send the message to the public. They ought to get electric cars because Volta is out there and we'll take care of them.
Yes.
You sending the message out?
Yeah.
How?
It's hard because we don't ask for their email addresses. With the station, there's no user interaction, so it's really hard for us to get a hold of our drivers, but we really feel like they're the evangelists for our service. They're telling all their friends about it, people that ask them questions about getting electric cars. We're excited because people have come to us all the time and said, you guys are the reason we got an electric car. If there wasn't anywhere
Really?
to charge.
People say that.
all the time. And that's great for us because you can imagine if there weren't any charging stations, you probably would never even consider getting an electric car. If there were a network of pay-to-use charging stations, then you'd, okay, yeah, that's pretty cool. But a large network of 100% free electric charging is really something that motivates the community to say, wow, we can actually do this. This is actually, I go to this grocery store every day, or I go to this movie theater or this mall, and there's 100% free charging stations there. Let's actually go to the dealership this weekend and check it out.
Do I have to wait a long time to get into your charging station?
That's
it
that's
takes
kind of
a
the
while,
challenge,
right?
is because it's free, everybody wants to use it.
Yeah.
We're actually working on an app right now, which is really exciting. So you'll be able to
Get
pull it
online.
up,
Oh, smart.
and it'll tell you, the Mauka station at Kahala Mall is free, or is empty.
Then you got to rush over there.
Yeah, exactly. then it's the mad rush.
Well, maybe you
But
can set it up like Apple does. You don't make a reservation at a certain time. Ooh, I'm hearing something in my ear. Mitch, we're going to come to you right after this break.
Okay.
That's Mitch Ewan. He's here with Arden Penton. Arden is from Volta, Mitch is from HNEI, but he's also on the Hawaii Energy Policy Forum Transportation Working Group. We're here on Energy Wednesday in Hawaii, the state of clean energy. And the title of our show is Standing Still in Transportation. And we will get to that point right after this break. Aloha, I'm Jay Fidell of ThinkTech. We have some news for you. In addition to our ThinkTech TV show and our Asia in Review show on Olelo 54, as of January 1st, we're adding Community Matters to play also 2 hours a week. Check out thinktechhawaii.com for the specific times of each of these shows. We hope you enjoy all three. Mahalo, I'm Jay Fidell.
Aloha, I'm Maria Kashem of ThinkTech Hawaii, and I want to tell you about our ThinkTech talk shows. If you didn't know it, ThinkTech streams video and audio for all of its shows live on the internet from 2 to 5 p.m. every weekday afternoon, and we replay them all night long on ustream.tv. Visit thinktechhawaii.com for our live stream and YouTube links. Raise your awareness on ThinkTech. I'm Maria Kashem, and
Aloha, I'm Nicole Hori for ThinkTech. For nearly half a century, the Hawaii Foreign Trade Zone No. 9 has brought the benefits of the Foreign Trade Zone program to Hawaii businesses and entrepreneurs. DBET, the Department of Business, Economic Development, and Tourism, operates Hawaii's Foreign Trade Zone program to encourage international business and economic development. The Foreign Trade Zone's mission is to increase the amount of international trading activity in Hawaii, thereby providing employment opportunities for the residents of our island state. For more information, see ftz9.org. I'm Nicole Hori. Mahalo.
Aloha, I'm Jay Fidell. This is ThinkTech Hawaii, broadcasting live from the Pioneer Plaza in downtown Honolulu. We raise public awareness about tech, energy, and globalism in Hawaii. Technology is critical to our state. A vibrant tech sector will give us new prospects in the global marketplace and will offer great careers and make our economy more resilient. Streaming live on Ustream and Spreaker, ThinkTech allows its hosts and guests invaluable opportunities to report important events and discuss important questions, and to be heard here in Hawaii and around the world. You can find links to our live streams on thinktechhawaii.com or on our mobile website, m.thinktechhawaii.com. And you can see our archive on YouTube. It's all just a click away. We want to do whatever we can to keep Hawaii relevant, connected, and thriving in the complexity of the 21st century. We hope you will help us in those efforts. Tune in today. This is ThinkTech. I'm Jay Fidell.
Aloha, my name is Dan Bauer and I'm the General Manager of the Plaza Club. The Plaza Club is Honolulu's premier business club. We're located in the heart of the financial district on historic Fort Street Mall. On the 20th and 21st floors atop the Pioneer Plaza, our commanding skylight views, along with our award-winning cuisine and service, are known as the place to do business downtown. We offer professional as well as social events and programs to our members and their guests, all tailored to enrich their professional and personal lives and to give them the cutting edge that they deserve in business. Why don't you consider becoming a member of the club? Call me at 531-7788 or come see me and let's talk business and how the Plaza Club can work for you. Again, my name is Dan Bauer. I'm the General Manager of the club, and I'm here.
Thank you, Jack Waters. This is Jay Fidell. Welcome again to Hawaii, the state of clean energy. We have Mitch Ewan and Arden Penton here. Mitch is with the Hawaii Energy Policy Forum, the Transportation Working Group, also with HNEI, Hawaii Natural Energy Institute, and Arden is with Volta, my favorite charging company station.
I love that you say that.
Charging station company.
Yes, charging station company, yes.
So, okay, Arden was talking about what Volta is doing and how they got 22 units around the island. Do you go as far as like Haleiwa? I mean,
We're actually working with CAM schools for their Haleiwa project
because
for
that's the range
2014.
anxiety issue,
Right.
you got to do one far away.
Right.
Okay, so now we're going to talk to Mitch. And as I recall, Mitch, it's my recollection's faulty in these years, but you're into hydrogen.
Yes.
Electric cars are not your primary interest. It's hydrogen.
Absolutely wrong.
Ah, good.
A hydrogen
Thank
car, I'll go bang the drum, is an electric vehicle.
Okay, all right,
We
got
just
it.
get our electricity from a different.
Okay, you always say that.
I always say that. I'm consistent. Reinforce the message.
So what are we doing on hydrogen here? As you know, my feeling is that hydrogen is the best option for all of this because it's fungible. You
Right.
can move it around in tanks
Yeah, exactly.
between the islands,
Yeah.
anywhere.
Yeah, and you can recharge your vehicle in 5 minutes. So the latest news I have is.
He doesn't mean that personally now, Arden.
No.
Yeah.
Not at all.
The latest news is actually I got an email today that our hydrogen system is was loaded today on trailers in Vancouver and is being put on a ship and being barged here to Honolulu. Will arrive on the 2nd of January and we're going to install it at the Kaneohe Marine Corps Base. The site work is about 90% completed there. It was a major construction project. And we hope to have the station up and running by, all commissioned, all the bugs out of it by, say, mid-February is what I'm projecting. I was up in Vancouver at the beginning of December, beginning of November, and we did a factory acceptance trial. And I must tell you that this is a very modern station. It is state of the art. It's almost as good as the Volta.
So it's a gas station.
It's essentially
It's
like a gas
hydrogen
station.
gas
If you
station.
drive up to it and look at it, it'll look like your standard Shell or Phillips 76 station. The dispenser looks exactly like a gasoline dispenser, except ours has touch screen control, just
Very
like the
cool.
Volta. It's really awesome. And we are able to fuel a car in 5 minutes. In order to do that, they need to chill the hydrogen down to minus 20 degrees centigrade, so it's like below freezing. But we can fill multiple cars one after the other, which is a first for Hawaii. There's 2 other stations here in Hawaii, one at Hickam, as you know, and one at Schofield. They can fill a car to 10,000 psi, but there's quite a lag between fills, whereas ours is like total state of the art.
So it's minus 5 centigrade, did you
Minus
say?
20, yeah.
Minus 20 centigrade, it's liquid.
No, not at all.
It's still gas.
Oh yeah, it's gas, but all the pipes frost up. It's pretty.
Oh,
It's
interesting.
interesting to see it. Yeah.
So who makes this equipment?
PowerTech out of Vancouver. They are a subsidiary of BC Hydro, a multi-billion-dollar company, one of the biggest utility companies in Canada. And we went with them because they have been in the business for a long time. They're a third-party test lab. They test all these hydrogen tanks for all sorts of manufacturers. So we know they're not going to go bust. They're going to be here tomorrow. They've got a big parent backing them up. And so that just takes all the risk out of it for Hawaii.
So the fittings and all that, they're up to a certain or at a certain standard, and they're fungible. You can take one and put it with the other and all that.
Yeah, absolutely. There's codes and standards. They meet all these codes and standards. And in addition, we have third parties certification by the Edison Technology Laboratory. It's like UL Labs, but actually some people think it might be slightly better. So it's all tested to the nth degree. And
Okay,
we're very
well-
confident about it.
So, but that's only number 1.
Say again?
I shouldn't say that's number 1. It's number whatever it is, 2 or 3.
Number 3,
But for the public, it's not even for the public. It's for the Marines.
yeah, but it's a demonstration site. People will be, we'll arrange tours so people can see it, particularly the people in the private industry that want to set up this kind of a capability at their fueling station. So we will be do the test run and make sure that everybody is comfortable with the technology before, so they can make informed decisions about purchasing this equipment.
Well, it's interesting because now, what Arden does is she puts a little thing in the shopping center, and as we said, it's like 3 feet by 1 foot by 6 feet or something like that. And that's all. That's it. And it fits at the head of the parking spot. That's all the space you need. You don't have to have a tank. All you got to do is have a wire that goes to that.
Right.
Okay, that's real simple. This sounds like it's a whole gas station affair.
Yeah, it is.
And if I wanted to build one, if I wanted to build one with you, Arden, I'd just give you permission. You'd put it in. That'd be the end of that.
Yeah.
It wouldn't cost me anything.
No, it wouldn't.
I mean, assuming you were willing to put it on my land, that was active enough for you. But in the case of a gas station like at Kaneohe, somebody, is going to have to put in a lot of money to make the gas station
correct.
come alive.
Yes, that's right.
So it's not like I would go out and spend a lot of money and become a gas station owner, just like it used to be. Like
Well,
a
a
station.
gas station owner actually invests quite a lot of money in his
Yeah,
gas station,
yeah,
so it's not a trivial investment by any means, and they have to go through the same similar kinds of codes and safety standards and all that kind of stuff. Actually, the charging station does have some infrastructure behind it. And I like to point that out.
It does, you're right.
Just doesn't
Yeah, okay,
come
right.
out of the
Yeah,
air.
we don't just stick it in the ground,
We don't just
yeah.
stick it in the ground. So it's
Yeah.
not quite that simple. But nevertheless, yes, the investment is a lot less for an electric vehicle charging station. But if I can be a little parochial, it takes 2 to 3 hours to charge a car, maybe less for fast charging, whereas I can do it in 5 minutes. So if you look
Right.
at the throughput, and look at the capital costs.
Well, it's
all
just
that kind
good
of
to have
stuff.
options.
Absolutely.
As long as you're giving people options, I think that it
Right.
definitely will inspire people to make a change
Yeah, exactly.
and not just drive a conventional
So
gas
what
car.
I hear you saying, Arden, is let's have them both.
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly. I'd love to have one of our Volta stations at my stations that I'm putting in.
So, there's an idea.
There you go.
Absolutely.
You have both at both.
You can sponsor it.
Yes.
You can let Arden come to your station and install. That would be a good deal for you because the station will draw the traffic. Okay, and then you could put it there in your regular model with the advertisement and all that stuff. And in the meantime, there's an extra incentive for somebody to invest in a quote gas station.
Correct.
Like that.
Yeah.
But the question I put to you is how are we going to get this going? I mean, what do you see as the path for
Okay.
making these stations ubiquitous?
Arden identified it. You have to have the infrastructure in place to allow people to purchase their vehicle and have the confidence that they can refuel it or recharge it. And initially, this infrastructure is expensive, and really the government has to take the lead in putting in this infrastructure, as they
Right.
have done for the electric vehicle charging station networks that are being put in here, because private industry cannot afford, there's not enough return on their investment to justify financially them putting in the system. But if the public money can be used to prime the pump, get it to the stage where eventually the sales of the vehicles will catch up to the point where it becomes profitable, then there's a handoff then from the government to private industry, and then it's going to be in automatic mode after that.
It strikes me that there's an angle here.
Yeah.
So I was going to say, suppose I want to build my station at Keomoku and King. There's already a station at Keomoku and King, isn't there? Big station. So why can't I have a triple whammy station?
You absolutely could.
And you have gas, and then you have hydrogen, and then you have electric too. It's a fueling station, is what
Yeah,
it is.
yeah.
It can do all three.
Yeah.
Ooh, why didn't we think of this earlier? So the investment about the land, and infrastructure on the land and all that, it's already mostly handled. So the trick is to incentivize the owner of the existing station to take the hydrogen and to take the electric.
Right.
And
it has to
what do
be-
you have
it
in
has-
mind?
Well, one of the things I have in mind is looking to the state not just the state, but also the feds, to provide the initial investment in this infrastructure. For example, in the state, we have something called the barrel tax, which is $1.05 on every barrel of oil that's imported into the state. Some of it goes to Department of Ag, DBED, and HNEI, but a large portion of that was put into the general fund, 60% of it. And so there's a
That's too
lot.
much.
It's too much.
All wrong.
And that needs, there's a fund that, the people, Blue Planet did a survey of taxpayers, and they fully supported the barrel tax fund for its stated purpose. So we need to take that money and start applying it for its stated purpose. So it's around 23
like
to
a bait and
25.
switch, isn't it?
Yeah, a little bit like
You
that.
make a legislation and say you're going to put the money in one place, and then whoop, you're putting it in another place.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So there's around $23 to $25 million a year that's collected from the barrel tax money. That would go a long way to putting in this infrastructure for both types of electric vehicles.
So how would you frame it? I mean, you would say, we would take the money out of the barrel tax or whatever, instead of where it's going now, the general fund, and we're going to, incentivize the owners of, we're going to incentivize people who want to make deals with existing gas stations, okay?
Yeah,
To put hydrogen there, and maybe you could get in on this too,
Yeah.
somehow.
Yeah, it could be a straight grant.
Okay, well, and actually, we have
We
to
can
think
talk about
about it
it.
a little further.
Yeah.
We're gonna take a couple of minutes to think about it. We're gonna take the short break. That's Mitch Ewan thinking, I hear it. He's with HNEI, and he's the Transportation Working Group of HEPF. And Arden Penton with Volta here on Hawaii, the State of Clean Energy, talking about standing still in transportation, but actually I think we're making some progress right now.
We're moving.
We'll be right back.
We want to thank our underwriters.
Hawaiian Electric Company and its affiliates Maui Electric on Maui and Hawaii Electric Light Company on Hawaii Island are deeply committed to the communities they serve.
Galen Ho is a senior executive of BAE Systems, a global defense, security, and aerospace company.
The High-Tech Development Corporation, the state's leading technology agency, attached to the Department of Business, Economic Development, and Tourism.
Castle and Cook, Hawaii, with a time-honored legacy that spans more than 160 years and revolves around its mission of investing in Hawaii, creating communities, and providing for the needs of our state.
Hawaii Gas, formerly the Gas Company, a proponent of the Liquefied Natural Gas Initiative, helping Hawaii achieve its transition to clean energy and a better energy future.
Collateral Analytics, a Hawaii-based tech company empowering the real estate industry with greater and faster access to the tools and data they need to make better informed property investment decisions.
I'm Nicole Hori. Thanks so much for joining us on Think Tech.
I'm Maria Kashem. See you next time.
Aloha, I'm Jay Fidell for ThinkTech. For nearly half a century, the Hawaiian Foreign Trade Zone, number 9, has brought the benefits of the Foreign Trade Zone program to Hawaii businesses and entrepreneurs. DBED, the Hawaii Department of Business, Economic Development, and Tourism, operates Hawaii's Foreign Trade Zone program. It does so to encourage international business and economic development. The Foreign Trade Zone mission is to increase the amount of international trading activity in Hawaii, thereby providing employment opportunities for the residents of our island state. For more information, see ftz9.org. I'm Jay Fidell of ThinkTech.
Aloha, my name is Dan Bauer and I'm the General Manager of the Plaza Club. The Plaza Club is Honolulu's premier business club. We're located in the heart of the financial district on historic Fort Street Mall. On the 20th and 21st floors atop the Pioneer Plaza, our commanding skyline views, along with our award-winning cuisine and service, are known as the place to do business downtown. We offer professional as well as social events and programs to our members and their guests, all tailored to enrich their professional and personal lives and to give them the cutting edge that they deserve in business. Why don't you consider becoming a member of the club? Call me at 531-7788 or come see me and let's talk business and how the Plaza Club can work for you. Again, my name is Dan Bauer. I'm the General Manager of the club, and I'm here for you.
Jay Fidell.
We're back, we're live, we're ThinkTech, we're Hawaii, the State of Clean Energy for sure. Standing still, however, in transportation with Mitch Ewan of HNEI and the Hawaii Energy Policy Forum Transportation Working Group, and Arden Penton of Volta, which has 22 units around the Oahu, all right, and climbing.
Yes.
As you guys are great. So, I guess the other, all I can say to our audience, it's too bad you can't hear the conversation that takes place during the breaks, because we come up with all this stuff that, it's just wonderful.
It gets good.
Yeah. So Mitch mentioned that there's something else we had to incentivize. Why don't you talk about it, Mitch?
Yes, a couple of things. First of all, the dealers themselves, the automobile dealers, they have to make a big investment in their plant, to be able to service these vehicles when they come off the street. And they need some help because there isn't the volume of vehicles to really justify the level of investment they need to make. And it's a big investment they have to make in the tooling and modifications to their facility. I'm not saying give them necessarily a total 100% deal, but have some kind of a cost share support or some kind of incentive in place to encourage them and help them cover that big chunk of investment they need to make. And that will, once again, help the industry overall to, somebody who has his car knows he can go in and get it serviced at the station, and you have trained and qualified people.
Yeah, the other thing is a dealer who has this incentive about repair maintenance facilities is also going to be incentivized to sell more of these vehicles.
Correct.
Because it means business. It's not just the maintenance, it's business.
Right.
And so, and we need to do that. We need to incentivize the industry to sell more of these vehicles. And that's, I think, one of the secret recipe here
Yeah.
is to get them on board.
Well, it's also bringing awareness that people that want to go electric, especially with EVs, they have options. So if the public doesn't know that you can buy two different versions of Ford's electric cars. There's a Nissan Leaf, there's Chevy Volt, there's Teslas out, and now BMW came out with a car. There's going to be a large number of new cars in 2014, which we're really excited about. But a lot of people don't really understand the concept. They don't realize all their options. And with the dealers, it's kind of a supply and demand type of thing.
Right, it's market.
And then at the same time, they're going to be getting 50 Ford electric cars on the lot, for example, and they need to sell them. And we need to raise awareness. That's why we've partnered with Honolulu Ford. They're sponsoring a lot of our stations just to let people know as people walk by that Ford, and they're showcasing all their special prices, that this is actually doable for Hawaii.
What do you mean sponsoring?
They're advertising with us on the stations.
So co-advertising thing to get the word out that Volta is there.
That Ford is there.
Okay.
So
Ford is there on the Volta equipment.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So Ford's sponsoring a number of our stations just to bring awareness that they
This raises
have so many
an
options.
interesting question, though, because theoretically, you could have Joe Dokes go out into the market and say, look, before maintenance involved gas maintenance. I mean, gasoline car maintenance.
Mm-hmm.
But with an electric car, hydrogen electric car, it's a whole different kettle of fish.
Yeah.
You don't need the same tools.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need the same training. We talked about during the break. We talked some more about that. So you could have Joe Dokes come out of the woodwork. Maybe he has a good appropriate class in this area, and he says, I'm going to open a maintenance facility. I'm going to open one of those gas stations like at Keimoku and King, which isn't a brand name dealership. It's just a gas station.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to rent a few hundred feet. And I'm going to do the maintenance right there in this triple-purpose gas station, right? I don't think that's going to happen because ultimately the dealers will have control over this. Right. I don't think it's going to separate from the dealerships. If they're going to sell a Ford, they're not going to want a guy on this triple play station,
Right.
to have a maintenance facility. That's drawing off their businesses. But maybe they can have a small unit on the gas station.
Sure.
Maybe they could take a couple of 100 feet just for it, and you can drive in there and they can do some stuff on this special gas station.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a Carta Blanca, isn't it? It's anything we make of it. We're inventing this now.
Right.
Well, it was really interesting, Jay. I mean, you participated in the first responder training we had back in February for first responders with hydrogen vehicles, which are electric vehicles. And many of the first responders, this is one of the first real hands-on training they had with what do you do with an electric vehicle? Because you got, high-powered cables and all this other stuff and batteries and all the things that are in an electric vehicle that is not common knowledge. And so they found okay, the hydrogen was part of it, but they got a lot of value out of the fact that they were getting specific training on how to handle an electric vehicle incident.
Yeah, that was very interesting, and it was new lessons that you didn't know before. And if you're into pure electrics, you wouldn't be too concerned. But if you're into hydrogen, you care a lot about, for example, the fact that you cannot see a hydrogen flame.
Right.
And it can burn you really good, and you never even see it. It's like invisible. Invisible burn. Ooh, what happened?
But you can
Scary.
hear it.
You can hear your skin melting.
No, you can hear the flame
Oh
because
my
it's under
gosh.
high pressure.
Okay. But the fire department knows about this, and they're prepared, by virtue of this program
Right.
that Mitch put on. So it's a matter of insinuating the new lessons, educating
Correct.
the public, the industry, the car industry, the fire department, everybody about the new world. But it's also, I think, a matter of establishing new structures like this gas station concept,
Sure.
so that there's a receiving end to it and there's a place for it to go. But I still think that right now, people they're not doing clean cars. They're just not doing it. Every time I see a brand new $70,000 SUV with a brand new license plate, I say the guy made a choice to reject any other technology. He wants the tinted windows. He wants the $70,000
And it's an easy
SUV.
transition. I think that's, again, going back to my education and awareness, people don't understand that it's really an easy choice. It doesn't have to be a huge life adjustment. And they're used to buying their Suburbans and their huge cars to tote around their families, but there's the same options in electric that's easy, and it's actually really affordable as well. So these cars are not out of your reach in terms of financial reasons. And then again, you plug in at home, you charge your car overnight for 6 or 7 hours, and you have a full charge. And living in Hawaii, this is the #1 state per capita for EV sales. So it's the ideal place to have an electric car.
What a great storage device. You have PV power. You can't use it maybe sometimes, for one
Yeah.
curtailment or another. So you can charge your car with that.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then, let me add that you can charge your hydrogen car with that too. You're going to have a device to turn the electrical power, into hydrogen. So those are available, right? I can buy that today, right?
You could buy it.
Yeah. You'll have to tell me
It's
where.
not cost effective yet, though.
No. But the concept is there.
Yeah, the concept is there.
And so it
Absolutely.
becomes a transportable type of fuel. And you have it in a tank. You can sell it at the grocery store,
Right.
at the 7-Eleven.
And you can power your house if your electricity goes off.
Yeah. So you have a few tanks in the back waiting for that.
No, if you power it
Eventuality.
from your vehicle.
Right.
Yeah, the
from your
Marine.
vehicle.
You saw that Marine Corps vehicle that had the
Yes.
the converters in there, and they're using that to power all their power tools out at the range when they're firing, and so you can actually
Wow.
use it as a backup power system for your house or your business or whatever.
And you can move it around among the islands very easily. That's the
Right.
thing that really turns me on. But the question is how we change the way people think. Because right now, of the $7 billion we send out of state for out-of-state fuel, something like 4, right, is still going out on transportation.
Yes.
And that's just a ton of money. It's most of it, actually.
Yeah.
Or at least half of it, anyway.
Yes.
And we haven't really made much progress. I mean,
We
and
have.
then
I
you know what
really
happened?
think that we have.
And then the electric car tax credit, state tax credit went away.
Mm-hmm.
No more money, all finished. So that's bad. Why can't we bring that back? And because the message when you put the tax credit in place is the government likes this, the government wants you to do this. The
But at the
message
same
when you
time,
take
they
it
can't have
away,
it forever. They can't have that incentive, the tax credit forever.
why not?
I don't know. I don't know. There's a lot of benefits, and I think that those people that did come on board initially are extremely happy with their choice. But you're right, after the tax credit went away, I think it kind of discouraged a lot of people.
Well, there's two things that happen. This is group psychology thing.
Yeah.
One is they say, I'm not going to do it unless I get a benefit. And the second thing is they say, I'm really ticked off because the other guy, my neighbor, had the benefit and I didn't have the benefit.
Right.
I'm really hoo-hoo about
Well, is it
that.
enough of a benefit to never pay for gasoline again?
For some,
That's enough of a benefit.
but not for all.
Yeah.
And I mean, I can say this with confidence that if you had the credit in place, you'd be selling more clean cars. This is the human nature thing.
Mm-hmm.
So the question I put to both of you is, do we have to put the credit back? I mean, how important is that?
I think credits are important. I think we should put it back. There may be some, as the population of cars and of electric cars increases, then there's some kind of formula that you start throttling down on it. To some point, it gets phased out when, you know, it's mainstream market. And, you know, the justification is this is Hawaii's energy policy. The energy policy of the state is to convert from fossil fuels to locally produced renewable energy sources. So we need to be consistent in our policies, and policies can't just change at the flick of a switch, because then you're knee-jerking the industry who gets set up for it, they're all ready to go, and then the rug's pulled out.
Nobody
from
wants to
under
make an
them.
investment.
Yeah. I mean, look at the PV.
Yeah.
What's happening there? I mean, it's a knee-jerk investment. I mean, let's look at it the other way. It's not like the state is losing money. I mean, individuals are investing in putting in electric production capacity in the state of Hawaii. They pay for half of it, and I don't think we're promoting the fact or educating people on the fact that actually the general public is actually investing in 50% of that, or whatever the number is, of that PV. It's
Right.
not free.
It's true. I mean, I don't think you're right. I don't think people really get that. If I go out and spend $40,000, whether credits or not credits, I spend a fair amount of my own change putting PV on the roof. I'm investing in a device that will create clean energy. If I don't do that, and we still, you know, try to make our goals, then somebody else has to do it without my money.
And you're still paying $20,000 out of your own pocket.
Right. I'm investing. I'm an investor.
You're an investor.
And I mean, I may get a good return, but the fact is I'm an investor, and what's the price of capital? You know?
Exactly.
It's really important to have
Exactly.
capital flowing into funding, you know, the whole initiative. That's what we need. So it's the same thing with cars.
Yeah.
If you help the guy buy the clean car, more people will buy the clean cars.
Yeah, and then you're fulfilling the mandate, the legislative mandate that the state has in place on the books to convert to an clean energy economy.
Yeah.
And so we have to be consistent, and our legislators have to be reminded that this is their laws that they put in because the people are demanding it.
Right.
And they need to be reminded that, hey, you know, everybody's got to vote.
But you know what, Mitch? I mean, I'm going to push in now.
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
So when are you going to be ready to deliver hydrogen cars all over the state? When is that going to happen? You know, Arden is going to get the benefit of this. You're not.
There's a ramp up, and if you look at if you recall the recent announcements, for example, Hyundai this month came out with an announcement that they're going to be offering their vehicles on lease for $490 a month in California, and that includes maintenance and the hydrogen. So this is a start, and
The fuel is included in the
if
$490.
fuel is included in it.
That's
So if
pretty
we have
good. That's
if we
pretty
have
good.
the infrastructure in place here in Hawaii, we can start offering the same opportunity. And maybe Hyundai and Honda and Toyota will also come to Hawaii and
Right.
be able to.
That's the challenge, is you really have to build an infrastructure before the cars are there.
Yeah.
And we're even struggling with that for Outer Island. I'm getting calls, honestly, daily from Big Island and from Kauai saying, please bring Volta charging stations here, because without somewhere to charge, we're not going to buy electric, and the dealerships there don't even have electric cars to offer because there's nowhere to charge.
So it's a chicken-egg problem.
It really is, and it's a gamble, honestly. We kind of positioned ourselves and hoping that it took off, and here on Oahu especially, it did.
Okay, I think we're really at the crux of some important discussion. We're going to come back after this break. This is Hawaii, the state of clean energy, talking about standing still in transportation with Mitch Ewan of Hawaii Energy Policy Forum Transportation Working Group and HNEI, Hawaii Natural Energy Institute, and Arden Penton with Volta. We'll be right back. Aloha, I'm Jay Fidell. This is Think Tech Hawaii, broadcasting live from the Pioneer Plaza in downtown Honolulu. We raise public awareness about tech, energy, and globalism in Hawaii. Technology is critical to our state. A vibrant tech sector will give us new prospects in the global marketplace and will offer great careers and make our economy more resilient. Streaming live on Ustream and Spreaker, Think Tech allows its hosts and guests invaluable opportunities to report important events and discuss important questions. and to be heard here in Hawaii and around the world. You can find links to our live streams on thinktechhawaii.com or on our mobile website, m.thinktechhawaii.com. And you can see our archive on YouTube. It's all just a click away. We want to do whatever we can to keep Hawaii relevant, connected, and thriving in the complexity of the 21st century. We hope you will help us in those efforts. Tune in today. This is Think Tech. I'm Jay Fidell.
Aloha, I'm Maria Kashem of Think Tech Hawaii, and I want to tell you about our Think Tech talk shows. If you didn't know it, Think Tech streams video and audio for all of its shows live on the internet from 2 to 5 p.m. every weekday afternoon, and we replay them all night long on ustream.tv. Visit thinktechhawaii.com for our live stream and YouTube links. Raise your awareness on Think Tech. I'm Maria Kashem, and
Aloha, I'm Nicole Hori for Think Tech. For nearly half a century, the Hawaii Foreign Trade Zone No. 9 has brought the benefits of the Foreign Trade Zone program to Hawaii businesses and entrepreneurs. DBET, the Department of Business, Economic Development, and Tourism, operates Hawaii's Foreign Trade Zone program to encourage international business and economic development. The Foreign Trade Zone's mission is to increase the amount of international trading activity in Hawaii, thereby providing employment opportunities for the residents of our island state. For more information, see ftz9.org. I'm Nicole Hori.
Aloha, I'm Jay Fidell of Think Tech. We have some news for you. In addition to our Think Tech TV show and our Asia in Review show on Olelo 54, as of January 1st, we're adding Community Matters to play also 2 hours a week. Check out thinktechhawaii.com for the specific times of each of these shows. We hope you enjoy all three. Mahalo, I'm Jay Fidell.
Aloha, my name is Dan Bauer and I'm the General Manager of the Plaza Club. The Plaza Club is Honolulu's premier business club. We're located in the heart of the financial district on historic Fort Street Mall. On the 20th and 21st floors atop the Pioneer Plaza, our commanding skyline views, along with our award-winning cuisine and service, are known as the place to do business downtown. We offer professional as well as social events and programs to our members and their guests, all tailored to enrich their professional and personal lives and to give them the cutting edge that they deserve in business. Why don't you consider becoming a member of the club? Call me at 531-7788 or come see me.
Okay, we're back. We're live. We're Hawaii, the state of clean energy, with Mitch Ewan of the Hawaii Energy Policy Forum and Transportation Working Group, and Hawaii Natural Energy Institute, and Arden Penton of Volta Industries, right? Mm-hmm. And we're talking about standing still in transportation, and we're trying to get moving. We're trying to get moving in electric cars and hydrogen electric cars. So we have all these great discussions during the break, and one thing that came up is your business model, Arden. It's really good. It's smart. It was smart at the beginning, and it's still smart. And you haven't had to change it, still works. And my guess is, you tell me if it's different, but going forward, you're not going to have to change it either. No. I mean, it's scalable. You could have hundreds of these stations, and it would still work for you to do exactly what you're doing now.
Right. Right. And there's no catch, too. People are always like, oh, well, it's free now, but in 6 months, we're going to have to pay. And with us, we haven't changed our business model at all. We are building out in scale. So we're putting in literally hundreds of stations.
And you're making a big and maybe risky investment. You know, if the cars don't come, what are you going to do with all that? You're not going to be able to sell advertising for a station that's not doing business.
Right.
Although I don't think the advertiser cares that much about how many people actually plug in.
Well, that's why it's working as well. But we've found that it's used all the time. These stations are filled all the time, actually after business hours a lot of times. So they're always
used. It's an easy sale if you can tell that to your advertiser. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But it's about the driver, yes, but it's also about the hundreds and thousands of people that walk by the stations every day and kind of pause and look at it and like, oh, this is really cool. What is this? They take pictures. I see families, I'll drive by, I see families next to the charging station at Ala Moana, for example, and they're doing a shaka and taking a bunch of pictures of an ad of a charging station.
Because
so it really is.
It's really interesting.
It's really cool. It's actually cool. So it's something that people talk about, and really, again, with inspiring a movement of now with social media too, it's so easy for things to kind of spread like wildfire, which is great.
we'll do what we can for you, Arden.
Oh, thanks, Jay. Appreciate it.
So what can you learn from Arden, Mitch? You got a more difficult deal going forward. What kind of business model can these stations have?
They can actually have a similar model, where initially the hydrogens can be provided for free. Like the Hyundai, for example, they're providing free hydrogen for people that buy their cars. And, like I said, I have a pretty uptown human machine interface or visual display. It's like a computer screen. It's not as big as what the Volta has, but we could change that. I mean, I have the real estate on the unit that you could add a much bigger screen and put in the advertising, because like you said, it's a wonderful business model.
But I'm thinking the difference between your two approaches. I mean, I'm really trying to find common ground here. I'm working hard at it.
Okay.
Is that Volta is a private company. HNEI, HEPF for that matter, those are non-governmental non-profits is what they are. And so what you're missing, I think, in establishing the same kind of or a similar kind of business model for the hydrogen is a private company that will intercede, that will go to the Shell station or whatever and say, how about taking a hydrogen stand here on your station? Let me do business. Let's make a deal. You can't do that, but somebody else could if that company was a private company. No?
Yeah, sure. Companies like Aloha and Phillips 76, I mean, they can all do that once we're at a certain stage where we have the hydrogen available, and then we have the vehicles starting to come online. We're much earlier in the cycle than the electric vehicle business is right now. I mean, these are like pioneering installations we're making. We're the scouts out in front of the wagon train, and they're
I applaud you.
Say again?
I applaud you.
Thank you.
Yeah, but that's why Mitch wanted to be on the show with you. He wanted to learn.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Making notes
I know.
right now.
Yeah.
No, but it's a great business model, and I think the whole hydrogen industry could emulate that and do quite well with it. Because these companies are spending advertising dollars on newspaper ads. I mean, I hate to think what a full-page ad in a newspaper costs, but applying some of that budget to a fueling station which puts out the message, because it's putting out the message to the same, like we talked, an integrated station which has, gasoline and electric and all that. I mean, a lot of people are going to see that message.
Yeah, and the right people. The very people who are your customers will see it.
Exactly.
You have a captive market, essentially.
Yeah, exactly. So a great business
How
model.
resistant are the gas station owners, you think?
I
If you
think
were to
right now
approach it, they probably want a piece of the pie, huh?
Sure they would.
Yeah.
Fair.
But it's attracting a lot of different demographics to your property, and they'll go inside and spend money. And
that's how that's a major portion of their income is people that stop, and while they're filling their vehicle, they go in and buy a coffee or
some other revenue stream.
Oh yeah, it's incredible. I mean,
so the more revenue streams you offer, the more they like it.
yeah, I don't think that you'd have to give them a crazy incentive to do this. It would really be delivering their ideal customer onto the property who would spend lots of money, whether it's in the store or they would just visit their property in general.
Yeah. Exactly.
I guess one
I think it'd
interesting
be
question
great.
comes to mind. I'd be interested in your reaction to this. Is suppose the ABC gas company is selling the gasoline to the station. It's probably an antitrust issue here, but suppose they said, we don't want you selling electric on our station. If we're going to sell you gas, you can't sell any other fuel here. It sounds so creepy, but could that happen?
I have no idea.
It's a legal question.
Probably an antitrust.
We're not going to answer that here. So what are you going to do going forward? What's your next step after Kaneohe?
After Kaneohe, I have my project over on the Big Island, where we're planning to put in a hydrogen production station at the geothermal plant, and then using that to produce hydrogen that we will supply Hawaii Volcano National Park and the Big Island bus service with hydrogen for their electric fuel cell electric buses that they're purchasing.
Oh,
So that's just the
great.
start.
Great project.
And what
Yeah,
we
that's
want
great.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt that. And what we want to do is build up the public transportation fleets, because if we're going to the legislature and asking for public money, it's far easier, in my opinion, to justify that if the general public is going to get a chance to use it. And they can use it by riding the buses and providing a better transportation experience for them.
Especially in a place like the Big Island, where people have jobs that are very distant from
Yeah,
their homes.
exactly.
Billy Kenoi made a lot of points politically when he had the free buses,
Yeah.
and that helps a lot. And so if you have hydrogen-free buses, you're in great
Yeah.
shape.
Well, you look at it, you got a centralized fueling station, so you can fuel like, 20, 30, 40, 50 buses at that one station. And
Mitch, I'm so
take a lot.
sorry, but I hear
Oh,
music in
oh.
my ear. You know the sound. Yeah, that's Mitch Ewan, the Hawaii Energy Policy Forum Transportation Working Group, and also HAWAIIAN, and Arden Penton of Volta Industries. Both a wonderful discussion. Thank you so much.
Yes, it was fun.
Thank you for coming down.
Thank you.
Thank you.
On Hawaii, the state of clean energy, we're talking about standing still in transportation, and maybe this will start up a little bit.
Right.
Okay, we're going to have a show just in a few minutes about education on the Big Island with Art Souza, who is the district manager, district supervisor of a good part of the educational system on the Big Island, and we'll be right back.